every single day they are shredding the Constitution in every single amendment one by one.
This is Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett on September 16, talking about a myriad of issues. There's a lot going on with security and members.
Their jobs because of their quote unquote free speech rights. I look, especially if I look somebody up and it is somebody that deals with a minority population and you are constantly railing against me as a minority, like one of those guys was somebody that was responsible for making sure that people could get home loans when we are still dealing with things such as redlining and black folk not being able to access capital so that they can build wealth. That's not a position for you. Maybe your position is within the KKK, but you should not be the one that is going to decide whether or not a black community or a black family should be able to build wealth. I think that when you are talking about representing a corporation and having the ability to directly negatively impact their actual consumers that they are serving, that is a whole other issue. Now, if a company decides they want to go forward with that type of hateful stuff, then that's perfectly fine. But I don't share any fraction of what I get. But a lot of times I will look to see what type of things do you do. And I typically, like the last one that I shared, I just wanted people to know who this man was. I didn't even look, I don't even think that guy actually worked. So I didn't put it out there. This is a matter of, these are people doing these things privately. If you are publicly out there saying how you feel or whatever, and that you are relieved in whatever way this is your way of expressing your relief, such as having a young student in Texas who decided, after it's my understanding that she had been racially targeted by some of her classmates.
This is the Texas tech.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, and I've got to dig in some more, but it is my understanding that this is a young black student who had actually been the victim of racial attacks. So when people who were following that type of thinking were trying to mourn somebody who was potentially influencing their hate towards her, then she decided to celebrate. I'm not saying, again, that I condone celebrations and whatever, but I do think that it is okay in this country. It is not criminal. That's just what it is. You can call it tasteless, you can call it whatever you want to, but it's not criminal. So the idea that we're going to expend federal resources and the FBI and the DOJ is going to go after people for expressing how they feel, every single day they are shredding the Constitution in every single amendment one by one. And frankly, going after quote unquote hate speech is not.
What? I think Abbott said she was arrested and she's been expelled.
It is my understanding, I've not dug in completely, that they charged her with a Class C misdemeanor. So the arrest was absolutely ridiculous, because you and I both know with a Class C misdemeanor, you just get a citation and you go about your business. So this does seem like there was a little bit of kind of performative things going on. So they didn't even charge her with like a real assault. I mean, it's a Class C, so it's a little different. The most you can get is a fine. I don't know the full details. From what I saw on the video footage I saw, she never made contact with anybody. You can't get an assault in the state of Texas, at least one that's going to result in a conviction, if you literally never made contact with anybody. That's kind of the definition of assault. That's a bigger issue to me. Abbott going out, spreading misinformation and disinformation. This is somebody who is a licensed attorney. He knows there's a difference. This is about riling up the base and feeding them this meat. Instead of saying, you know what, I denounce what she did, but because we live in an American democracy, she's allowed to do it. That's it.
These guys are looking.
All I know is that this idea that the president wants to add an additional $58 million for his team, I'll say, and judges, yet there's no mention of securing the people whose faces are out there more than any other branch, is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, our job is to go out and get reelected. We show up in communities all the time. We are the ones that are doing the town halls. It's not his bootleg FBI director who has his own team already. It's those of us that are in the House and the Senate, and frankly, it's really more so the House that needs more protection than the Senate, because the average person can barely name their own senators in their state, but they know different members of the House on both sides.
You feel like House security should be?
We have zero security. You have to be elected into leadership in some way to get some kind of security. It has nothing to do with the level of threats that are waged against you. So no, we need security, and we need it now.